ways spirit expresses through humanity. Knowing that every culture reflects a unique facet of the one presence, today we are honored to welcome our guest speaker and musician, Skylar Pimyotamah Hartleroad. Pimyotamah is a citizen of the Miami tribe of Oklahoma and a recent graduate with degrees in anthropology, Spanish, and linguistics. He has also completed the Heritage Program through the Mia Mia Center at Miami University. Immersed in rich traditions of music, storytelling, and shared history of his people, Pimyotamah has cultivated a deep respect for preserving the living heritage of the Miami nation while inviting others to see beyond stereotypes and embrace a fuller understanding of its vibrant culture today. Please stand and welcome him as he brings our opening song. Thank you, Pimyotamah. And please remain standing as we welcome the children forward to receive a special blessing. This morning they will remain with us throughout our service, so as we pause now to surround them with our love and blessing, we recognize each child as a radiant presence of the Christ light. We love you. We bless you. We appreciate you. And we behold the Christ in you. We honor you just the way you are. Okay. Thank you all. Please be seated. The daily word is a practice in aligning our thoughts with truth, training the mind to see through the eyes of spirit. Kendall is our daily word reader today. As she comes forward, I am reminding you that the daily word is reproduced with the permission of Unity, publisher of Daily Word, and the website dailyword.com.
I am prosperous in all ways. To be prosperous may include financial wealth and possessions, but it is also much more. It includes spiritual wealth and health as well as joy and satisfaction. Today I focus on the ways in which I am prosperous, and I realize the many ways I am blessed. I experience prosperity through my material comforts, but I also feel prosperous through the amazing functioning of my physical body and my active mind. I am prosperous through the spiritual bonds I have with God and the deep peace it gives me. I am grateful for my prosperity and its many manifestations. I give thanks I am thoroughly blessed and prospered in mind, body, and soul. Then you shall see and be radiant. Your heart shall thrill and rejoice, because the abundance of the sea shall be brought to you. The wealth of the nations shall come to you. Isaiah 65.
Thank you, Kendall. Prayer is the communion with God and keeps us consciously attuned with Source. As we open our mind and hearts to God in prayer, we receive light, guidance, and fulfillment. Infinite source of all being, spirit of many names and one love, we pause in the awareness of your profound presence among us and within us. We affirm that peace, compassion, and wisdom are active in our world today. Right now, healing flows through our communities, bridging what divides us and strengthening what unites us. We are blessed with the clarity to see one another with kindness and the courage to act as instruments of harmony. We give thanks for this shared life, for the diverse path, converging in goodness, and the enduring strength of love, and so it is. The names on the screen have been entrusted to our prayer ministry. Together we pause and hold them in sacred awareness. We may have others who are on our hearts and minds this morning. You may whisper their names quietly. We are grateful that everything needed for healing, success, and fulfillment is within. We affirm that good is being revealed in wondrous ways. We are protected and secure. Pimyotamah joins us not only as our guest musician, but also as our speaker. We are grateful for the gifts he brings and for the opportunities to share this time together. So rather than wondering what we are about to hear, let us simply open ourselves to receive. As we listen with our open minds and hearts, let us also listen for the presence of the divine within whatever unfolds. Pimyotamah, we welcome you. We honor you, and we are grateful that you are here. Please join me in giving a warm and loving welcome to Skylar Pimyotamah Hartleroad.
Aya chekawea Pimyotamah Winwiani ki kayonge mnutiani. I just want to give a big newe, a big thank you to Unity and all of you for inviting me into your space, inviting me to speak and share a little bit about who I am and where I come from. And I want to thank you for your hospitality. Everyone has been extremely nice to me here. You know, me and my family have not always had the best interactions with churches before. I think for a long time I've been afraid of going to church, but it is always nice to know that there are people out there who are very accepting and wanting to understand more of other people. You know, there's always good people out there in any group, you know, and I want to thank you for being those people, you know, for me. So, thank you. A little bit about myself. I was born in Auburn, Indiana, and I moved here to Fort Wayne when I was about 7 years old. My mom and my brother, and we lived with our grandparents in Lorez, kind of around where Southside High School is. I want to say, growing up, my dad was very involved in powwow culture. And so if you don't know what a powwow is, maybe you've heard of it before. A powwow is a social and cultural gathering where people from many different nations come together and we share in music, in tradition, and we also share in our crafts. And normally powwows are open to anyone. There are a few around in Indiana. There was one in Columbia City. Unfortunately, that one is no longer happening. The Mishkanachqua powwow. There's also one in Portland, Indiana that happens every year. And they're open to anyone. If you want to come there and watch, you know, shop around, even participate in some dances. People are always open and willing to accept people who are wanting to learn into that space, you know, as long as everyone is respectful and understanding, you know, you're welcome. So I went to Miami University in Oxford, Ohio. I studied anthropology, linguistics, and Spanish. I was very interested in understanding my language and how to speak it. So that's a lot of what I focused on, and a lot of what I want to show people is that, you know, my people are very much still here. We very much never left. I'm sure you've heard before something about when the Indians were removed from Indiana, but that never really happened. We still remained here. Many of us were removed. In 1846, a lot of my people were put on boats and sent down the river out to Kansas, or moved to Indian territory. But many of the families still remained here in Fort Wayne, in Peru, and many of the surrounding towns around the Wabash River Valley. So in my language, so the Wabash River, which means the river that shines white, because of the limestone floor on the river. So when the water would shimmer, it would shine white. So if I could have my first picture up here for my slideshow. Thank you, Newe. So this is like one of my favorite pictures of all time. Me and Isainza, my brother Jacob. This is when I went out to visit him in Denver, Colorado. We're right next to this sunflower field, and this was taken by our Uncle Denny. So I want to say that Miami people, we live in a diaspora, which means that not all of us are in Fort Wayne, not all of us are in Kansas or Oklahoma. We're all over the place. No matter what state you go to, there will be one Miami person in that state. So I want to say that my family is very important to me. My older brother has been a very big inspiration in my life. I feel like I've always been the timid one, and he's always been the one who's just a go-getter and does it. So unfortunately, my brother couldn't be here this morning. He was very, very sleepy. So, but he's here in spirit. He's here in spirit. So I want to give a big thank you, big newe to Isainza, for being that inspiration in my life. And hopefully I can be the same for him. So, yeah. What are the next? So this is a picture of me and Jacob, Nusa, my dad, Jay, and Ningya, my mom, Rebecca. This was us when we were really young. I'm in the yellow there. Yeah. So talking a little bit about who my family is, Nusa, Jay, my dad. He grew up in Peru, Indiana. And as a kid, there wasn't much to do in Peru, so they hung out along the river, and he said people there would call them river rats. And my dad, he's a veteran. He's in the Army, Vietnam, and he himself was not very connected to who he was as a Miami person growing up. He grew up in a time where being an indigenous person was looked down upon. So even people in our own family would kind of keep him away from that. And he told me that he didn't even realize he was Miami until he was in his early 20s, I think. So around the age I kind of am now. I know that a lot of times he would be kept away from his more Miami family members to try and keep him away from that. I'm not exactly sure, the whole story, but a lot of kids were being taken away to residential school at that time. So it might have been to protect him, but yeah. So Nusa, my dad, has been very involved in who I am growing up. He started reconnecting with his Miami side through powwow, through community. And he kind of took us along with him in that journey when we were born. And my mom, Ningya, Rebecca, she was also very involved. She's not a Miami person herself, but a lot of people would consider her to be Miami because she was so involved in the community. She did a lot of help I'm blanking on the word right now. It's where you go back into your family tree. Genealogy, yes. She did a lot of genealogical work for people in the tribe to try and find how people were connected, how we were related to each other, and how to relate them back to the roles, the land roles, which were given to our families back in the 1800s. So she's been a very big part of my life, very big part of my journey, learning Mya Tawenge, speaking the Miami language. So I want to give a big missionaire, big thank you to my mom and my dad for being there for me and helping me along the way with who I am. So I want to talk a little bit about that first song that I sang. So pictured there is some folks got the Strax there in the back, and my dad up front. I'm not sure all the names of everyone in this photo, but so my dad was a part of the early revitalization effort trying to connect and understand the links between who we are as Miami people and our music culture. A lot of that was lost. A lot of that thread to that was dropped. And a lot of, in the early 2000s, late 90s, people were starting to take these strings that had been dropped on the ground and start to pick them back up. And so a lot of our teachings came from different groups of people. So I won't say the person on the right there, I'm not sure what his name is or what family he belongs to. I think he might be Potawatomi or Ojibwe. But a lot of our teachings come from these different communities who we consider our relatives. So a lot of people kind of think of indigenous people as these like small bands, kind of living in the woods, living in teepees, going to war with each other. But that's not really how we understand ourselves as a people and as relatives. So we would consider the people up north like Potawatomis, Ojibways, people down south, Shawnees, Peorias, all of these people are our relatives. We share the same cultural traditions and values, and we speak very similar languages because we understand that we all stem from the ancestors, this point. And at some point we broke off from each other, but we still held that connection with each other. So, Ilapakasiane, we descend from them. We all come from the same place somewhere, no matter how far you go back. We're all related to each other. Ewendiangwe, we are all related to each other. Thank you. So this is a picture of me harvesting bark from this tree here. I don't know if anyone can maybe tell from the picture. I don't know if we have any plant people in here. All right, this is a slippery elm. In Mya we say Asha Shakopa. Asha Shakopa means the slimy tree. So I don't know if you've ever had tea with slippery elm in it. Yes? Some of us? That inner bark towards the outer wood of the tree has a some sort of compound in it that when you chew it and it activates with your saliva, it becomes very slimy. And people would take that inner bark and they would chew it as a way to help with, sore throat and things of that nature, as a medicine. For this purpose here, I was a part of an internship in the summer, managing invasive species on our plot of land that we have north of Fort Wayne. This is us harvesting the bark to make bark baskets. So unfortunately, it slipped my mind, but I did not bring the basket. Yes, we'll have to do that. But yeah, so we're all in connection with these other beings, you know, whether they be the trees, the birds, the deers, whatever they may be. We share the same place as them. We live in the same place as them, and they are relatives to us. We are in relationship with them, and it is as much job as theirs to provide us with the medicines that we need, or whatever resources we need to take from them. It's as much their responsibility, their relationship that we have with them. We, as people, need to understand that we live on the same land as they do. We have to respect them. We have to take care of them, because we're sharing the same home, right? So the rivers are extremely important to Mya people. Mya means the downstream people. So when the Europeans were coming through and collecting the names of, the groups of people who lived here, one group gave them Twa, another group gave them Mya. So Mya, the downstream people, the people who live down the river. And you'll find that actually a lot of times is like the people who live over there, the people who live down the river, that's just what that means. We would say Mitosenyaki, that means the people. So right here is in Peru, Indiana. This is 7 Pillars, which is Ashipehkwa Wawaliche. Ashipehkwa is the bluffs, the cliffs. Wawaliche means that there are many caves. He has many caves because we would consider this a relative, this a being to be respected. So Wawaliche is he has many caves. And if you can see in there, I don't know if you've ever been to 7 Pillars, some of you. Yeah, some of us. Very beautiful place. This was a very important place for my people historically and still today. It's a plot of land that is still in the tribe's hands. And it's a place that many of us still visit because a lot of our relatives, our ancestors have lived, on this land, near this land. And in Peru, Indiana, that place is called, it might be slipping my brain right now. Ikapisanonge. Ikapisanonge means the place where the river runs straight. So if you look at Peru on a map, for some reason, the river just goes straight instead of meanders like a river would normally do. So our ancestors saw that and they were like, okay, this is strange, the river runs straight here. And they saw this as a sacred place. There are many sacred places along the Wapashike, the Wabash, which we would consider sacred, which have many stories associated with them. Of sacred beings in many of our winter stories, of powers who are who come from different places, different worlds. So when we visit these places, we understand that we have a very strong connection, to this place, a shared history. And I don't think I put it in here. There was another photo of me holding this really big crayfish that I'd caught on the same day. Really big crayfish. And this place is very important to me, I remember as a kid playing in the river, I would take the rocks, I would build a tower, and I'd take the crayfish and I'd put them in there, and watch what they would do, Me and the other kids would do that. So, yeah, these places hold a lot of very important memories. And right here, in the bottom left is a picture of me in Benton Harbor. So Benton Harbor is a part of one of our oldest stories of who we are as a people, of who we are as Miyamyake. So up top there, we can see Saki Weonge. Saki Weonge is the emergence place. So we have our story of how we came to be as Miami people. Saki is to sprout, to spring up, to emerge. So this is where we came out of the river from coming up north from who knows how long ago. Some people say over 1,000 years ago, we've been in the Wabash River Valley in northern Indiana. And visiting these places, seeing where your ancestors came from is very important. And I think that it is important for all of us, no matter who you are, understanding who your ancestors are, how they got to where they are now, and understanding that in the place you're at, you have a relationship with the people you live with and with the land you live with. I think as modern people, a lot of us may be disconnected from that, We don't understand the relationships between all of these things. And I think it's important that people, move forward in a way where we're trying to bring that back into our lives, bring that understanding back into who we are and our relationships with each other and the things that live on this land. So I think that's it. I think that's it for what I wanted to say. I do have a song to share with you all. I've never performed this song. I've only practiced it 2 times. But it's very relevant to, the thing that I wanted to share, and it just came to me one day. So I'm like, if this is divine, then, this has to be, So if I mess up, just bear with me. Yeah, cool. So this is a song about the rivers. It's about many of the names that we call these places. And it's a call to go back, to reconnect with many of the places that have memories that span back in the past since time immemorial. So thank you. I hope you enjoy. In this time, I'd like you to think about who you are, where you are, be present, and how we can move forward in a way where we're reconnecting with who we are and where we are. So, Newe, thank you. Tawa wana me wane sunzara mune inina sipiwa kekitanga kujonge nama wa ikipisa nonge miyako miyako. Tawawana me wane sunzara mune inina sipiwa kekitanga nujonge wapashke peyange shenge she miyako miyako.
Thank you, Pimyotamah, for sharing your music, your knowledge, your